transform tool. We're going to look at the transform tool. We have our trusty cube in the middle, and up here we have the transform command. So first it's going to ask us what we want to transform, and this entity here, the cube, is going to be what we want to move. Now we can translate it by a line, and that would mean we'd have to draw a line on here, and it would translate it by that distance by clicking on the line or the points on the line. Quite straightforward. Translate by distance, exactly the same thing. So we want to translate it by, I don't know, 60 millimeters. The direction, you click on the plane and it's going to basically move it perpendicular to that plane. Okay, so it's moving it along the line of the plane in a perpendicular motion. Again, quite straightforward. You can copy the part. So if you want to move that, again, it's going to have two parts, as you can see. That's quite a quick way of making multiple parts if you want to. You're probably going to use your linear pattern for something like that. So if I take that out, we also have translate by X, Y, and Z. This is probably the easiest and most intuitive. You can just drag it around depending on where you want to put it. It's quite accurate, or you can use the dimensions on the X, Y, Z axis there if you know exactly where it needs to go to. We've also got transform by mate connectors. This is quite a good one. So if you had another part over here, so if I very quickly, I'm not going to constrain it, so I'm just going to very, very quickly extrude that up, 25, there we go. If we wanted to move this over to this part, we could use our transform tool like so. I could click on transform by mate connectors from mate, so this one here, say this top plane here, we want to line up with this top plane here, click on the to mate over here, and there it will move. It should move. Sorry, entities, we need to have this one moving. There you go, it moves over to line up, which can of course be useful if you've imported parts. The other options we've got is rotate. So if I want to rotate this entity by the axis, rather than having to draw an axis, which we might have had to have done in the past, we could again use our mate connector. So say the axis is going straight through the middle, it gives us the chance now to then rotate around that central axis. And again, you can type in the degrees that you would like it to rotate by. Couple more, copy and place, exactly as it says. You can't see anything's happened, but actually we have an additional part down here, part 3, so it's made an additional one of those. I've cancelled that, and you can see it's now just got this part here. And then the final one is scale. And say you think this is too small, you want to scale it up, you can scale it however much you want. So if we want to double the size, obviously by a factor of 2, the entities for scaling is this one. What are we scaling it by? Let's go by a corner. Okay, so this corner here, and you can see that has doubled in size. That is pretty much it for mates. Have a little play around. Sorry, not for mates, for the transform tool. All kinds of different options there in terms of moving parts in place. It will be useful when you're importing geometry as well.